everybody. I'm Griffin here, and welcome back. It looks like we did in fact get our full 90 minutes. I took a little bit extra time. While you're away, I gained this. Wow. Alright, let's get the story straight. Check the system peeker. Access it using the button at the bottom of the middle screen. Ooh. Okay, right, yeah. Yep, pretty likely we're on Earth. So my plan, this will sound silly, but try to bear with me. The idea is based entirely on my total misunderstanding of some Stephen Hawking book I just picked up in this data thingy. So actually, to be this disproven big crunch theory, the universe at some point is going to reverse direction and all mush together. If I've misunderstood correctly, time might go backward during the shrinking of space-time, but not... Probably not, but let's go with it. If right, we put these huge bugger-off massive boosters onto the planet, we can remain in a stable orbit while firing more taters into the sun. This will increase its mass, meaning that we'll have to go faster to stay in its orbit. The faster we go, the slower our perception of time relative to the universe. Time travel Matthew McConaughey type stuff. I get that reference. With enough mass, the sun will collapse on itself into a black hole type deal. Then we approach its event horizon. At the event horizon, time will become infinite. Now I'm 90% sure that this is a euphemism for maddening death, but I'm a robot who can't feel, and you're a person experiencing a very linear narrative. So, with time being infinite, we'll reach the big crunchy crunch in no time, or infinite time. I'm pretty confused at this point, to be honest. Anyway, then we'll probably get a big old bang. Time reverses and goes back to going forward. Hopefully the universe ends up in a more or less identical state to before, but this time I, know how the human race dies. We return to Earth, let them know we're heroes, roll credits, start the extended remake, and sell it on mobile, tablet, and PC. Shush with your plot holes, let's do this. Planet boosters. Can't quite do that. So yeah. Look at that. We have a planet booster. Didn't we build it? Oh, okay, right. It hadn't fully attached yet. Fires one tater into the sun every 12 seconds. 42,000 watts per second. Holy bejeebus, Batman. And this is the mass of the sun. See, we're shooting those potatoes. So yeah, that's how this is gonna go, basically. Now, we do kind of want to do the best genetic thing ever. And at 81,000 per second, we might actually get there within a reasonable time frame. How much does this give us? 3,000... Oh, sorry. 8,000 watts per second. See, these two both do mass, which has to do with that. At this point, I'm just trying to rack up a whole bunch of money and buy a whole bunch of silly things. Oh, look! We got something else. Oh, there goes Mercury. I like Venus. We just killed Venus. It's for the greater good. By increasing the mass of the sun, everything else is getting pulled in, basically. Only our planetary booster is keeping us out of the sun. So everything else is getting sucked in. It wouldn't quite happen that fast, but Especially because we just increased the mass of the sun by 0.037%, which is a lot of mass. Oh, there goes Mercury. Bye. Oh, whoopsie. Mars water evaporated. Also, Mars is dead. You may not know about Ceres, but it doesn't matter because it just got swallowed by the sun. Jupiter's gone. Unfortunately, that awful recent film about it isn't, though. Sorry, really, it was a terrible film. What does this do? Probably not worth it, but... there's something coming right there. That must be Pluto. There goes Saturn. Almost feel irresponsible. Almost. So yeah, this is the end game, clearly. It's silly, but it's funny. What? Again? Another double power? I have to blow my nose. I'm sorry. Don't know why I'm getting stepped up. Just a runny nose. That's all. Yup. Neptune boiled and went down all steamy. I'm saying that you just killed Neptune too. Uranus just got destroyed. Pluto isn't even a dwarf planet now because it's dead. Eris is a dwarf planet too, by the way. Well, it was 5 seconds ago before you carelessly flung it into the sun. So we are the only planet left orbiting Sol. The question is... yeah, might as well. I mean, I do appreciate that we have... the question is, do we get the potato launcher? I think we go get the potato launcher, or the next one. It's expensive though, so the greasy hashies is gonna double this, which is 18,000, so yeah, it's better to get the potato launcher, though the spud gun might be a good thing to get in the interim. So this is another one of those times where going idle would be really helpful, just because it would definitely earn us things faster. But we just started, so I don't really want to go idle just right away. Keep that multiplier going. I like the plant liquor. I like how just decorated this planet is with potato thingies. I am amused anyway. Arguably I should go for this because it gives me 100,000 because it doubles everything. Whereas this for half the cost gives me 40,000, but the thing is this makes everything else twice as good. That's the crazy part. But every 5 seconds we get a million because that 2.32 puts us at 230. It's actually slightly less than every 5 seconds. Every 4 and change. It's another million. As long as we keep that 1 click per second going. Keep firing those potatoes. We do have to get spud guns and potato launchers also, just because we need to. Sorry, got an itch to scratch here. Just because we do have to increase the mass of the sun, and it's going to take a really long time like this. What you gonna do? Ding, 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 ding. Will that fire into the sun still, even if it's in the shadow? I mean, orbits are 3-dimensional, so it, yeah, could still arguably shoot around the planet. There also might just be some math that makes that good. Yeah, and once again, our 10,000 per click doesn't really seem like very much now that we're on the order of millions pretty quickly. So really, once again, I feel like our big majority benefit here is that 2.32 multiplier. Yeah, this really isn't worth it. The potato launcher is also arguably not worth it. Its big benefit is that extra firing taters into the sun. It's 42,000 for 138 is about 1 to 3. It's a little bit worse than that. By that I mean 1 watt per 3,000 or 3 million watts. 300,000 watts? 300,000 watts. Something like that. It's still a little late. It actually might be to the point where you can start calling it early. So that is kind of a thing. But yeah, so this is where I'd probably leave and let it idle. And maybe I should do that and just merge the 2 episodes together. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. Because I could also do some other things. We could buy some more stuff from the Thingmaker that are smaller. That wouldn't increase this too much, but it still would raise it. Yeah, because this is like a 1 to 3 ratio too. Which means it's better to just keep buying them. Although it's probably not it's not a 1 to 3 anymore. Now it's a 1 to 4. Which is unfortunate, but it means that I might actually pick up those greasy hashies. I mean, also, it's just kind of fun having like a whole bunch of Spudniks around, because they just kind of surround the planet. Even though they really don't do that much. I like spending on the small stuff. Like, I'd love to reach the point where you just have so much income that you just buy all of the Spudniks. The problem is that that exponential curve of cost really puts a damper on trying to do stuff like that, because it just gets super expensive. And what you get back just isn't actually worth it in the end. The benefits that you reap just really aren't fast enough, because the thing, whatever it may be, makes a flat amount, whereas its cost goes up on an exponential level, meaning that paying for something also, the time required increases on an exponential level. So it just kind of gets a little bit weird. I actually probably should buy this, because this 32, sorry, 3,200 times 9 is 27, and this would double it, giving us another 27. Yeah, it's not as good as a potato launcher. Still not as good. If it was like triple or something like that, then probably would be worth it. The thing is, the Spud gun isn't even worth it. That ratio is just so bad. It's like 1 to 6. So the potato launcher isn't that great either. But it's closer to 1 to 3. Still less than 1 to 4, which is better than most things. this is just a stupid amount. For 4 watts, yeah. 100,000 for 1 watt is not good. 50,000 for 1 watt. 10,000 for 1 watt. Wow, that's not a number I was expecting. 7,000 for 1 watt. Sorry, so yeah, 7,000 watts for 1 watt. I think that's about right. So yeah. I know my units are a little bit off. I am kind of chopping zeros in weird places, but I don't think I'm wrong. But not in the final ratios, at least the way that I'm judging them in my head. Mostly because I'm thinking in terms of like thousands of watts a lot of the time. Like when I say 1 to 3, I mean 1,000 watts to 3 million watts. Sorry, watts per second for 3 million watts. Like that's the units that's running in my head, and that I'm using to justify. Man, I'm just getting really stuffy. I really hope I'm not coming down with a cold, because I was planning on getting a lot of recording done this weekend, and having a cold when you're recording just isn't any fun. It sucks because I don't want to be giving you guys bad audio, because nobody likes to sound nasally. But also, it's really hard. I really need to put in like a quick command to mute so that I can do stuff like this. So it turns out that Spaceplan actually plays pretty nicely with clicking out of it full screen. So, yay! That's only good news. So let's do some basic math here. And so we are at 120. So times 2 1/3 puts us at 240 plus 1/3, which is 40. So 280. So we're just under a million every 3 seconds, which means that halfway there, 70 seconds or 70 million to go, just about, puts us at 210 seconds. So 3.5 minutes ish. We're still firing those potatoes into the sun, where they belong. Those are some big potatoes, though. I still definitely prefer the view from here. I think some of those tater towers came in together so close that they are actually indiscernible from one another. Because I really only see 5. And I know that we can't see everything because of the way the planet rotates, but those are pretty tall. Keeping an eye, because they're actually all in like a straight line too, which is fantastic. Which just to me goes to show that the planet is rotating and orbiting, and we're orbiting definitely not in geosynchronous orbit. Just stick with the beat. The beat's got it right once per second. Oh man, we can buy those greasy hashes, which we don't want to do. Basically, after this episode, we're going to idle. And we're going to be able to buy the best genetic things. And hopefully, everything we have just kind of explodes from there. We are about to increase our production by 33% though, which is also going to make it easier. The question is how much the potato launcher is going to go up in cost. Because if it is at the point where it is still less than the percentage that we're gaining. So if it goes up less than 33%, then we will get to a new one faster than we did this time, which is good. So if it's only going to go up 30%, that's 46. So 46 would put it at 184. So that's going to be our check. If it's at more than 184, it's going to take longer to get to it. If it's at less, it's going to take less. But 184 isn't entirely unreasonable, I suppose. I think it'll come in less than that. I think it's going to be at about 160. It might even be 155. Only 10 million more to go, so like 30 seconds. So we'll have our next potato launcher, and we can see. I don't know the actual ratio that it increases by. It could be 1.1. That wouldn't be horrendous. If it was 1.1, we'll be at 151.8. I'm curious to see. There. 158, so it went up 20, which is about 60%. Or not 60%. Yeah. It's about 1/6. Actually closer to 1/7. And 7 is like 15, now it's like 14 and change. Because 14 times 7 is 98. Now we're at 162, so we're climbing nice and fast. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna call the episode here. I know it's not going to be as long as the other episodes that we've done thus far, but that's because I really think that idling here is where we're going to gain our biggest advantage, because at this point we've got 90 minutes. 90 minutes of our base rate. So if we look at 162, that's obviously per second, so we multiply it by 600. Sorry, 60, and then by 60, which is 3600. But 16 times 36 is a sucky multiplication, so we'll just do 6. So we'll do so 150 times 6. Oh, math is hard right now. 900. 150 times 6 is 900. So 972 if you want to get even closer. So 9,720,000 per minute. So multiply that by another 60, and we're just going to ballpark 10 million, because 10 million is not unreasonable. And that puts us at 600 million in 90 minutes. Now, it's probably going to be a little bit longer than 90 minutes before I actually clock back in. But if we're going to be doing that, we might as well spend. This is now 1 to 5. And this is still 1 to 6. All right. And that'll have put us up to from 162 to 171, which adds an extra 10,000 per second, which comes out to an extra 3.6 million, which isn't a ton. Is that right? It's somewhere in that ballpark. It's a little late to be doing math, so. As you can see, I'm just trying to spend the money while I'm burning time doing mental math, mostly just because it's going to be a lot easier or basically everything I spend here is negligible compared to what we're going to get. And also spending it now is probably going to get us more benefit. I don't know what the return on investment on these are. I haven't actually done that math. It's similar to what I've already been doing with in terms of ratio. It's just instead of calculating it that way, you calculate the other way. So obviously, if this takes 1,000,000 watts, let's just say, and this gives 50 watts because I want it to be simple. That 50 watts in 1,000,000 is of course going to be a pretty big number for return on investment. So, you know, 50 million. Why is math hard? 20,000? Yeah, 20,000. So that is 20,000 seconds. 20,000 seconds divided by 3,600, which is the number of seconds in an hour, puts it at about 6 hours. So buying one of these, you don't get your return on investment back for 6 hours. But that's okay. We're not actually planning on seeing all that money come back to us. So, as I said, I believe this is where we call it. I'm just going to keep spending out the last of our money here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you next time. But until then, keep your gears turning.